Galveston has seen a lot of things this morning, or actually now it's this afternoon. It's officially noon now. Devon Roming is in our weather tracker along the seawall. What can you show us, Devon?
Hey, Ron and Deb. Yeah, so as you mentioned, yes, we have been out here all morning now that we are into the afternoon, and we are driving along Sea Wall Boulevard here. We finally were able to leave the San Luis resort to get out and kind of see what's been happening around the island as far as impacts from Beryl. And I can tell you that we've seen some areas that have seen some isolated flooding in some of the neighborhoods. Nothing that has been too drastic where people are being rescued or anything like that. Just some subtle flooding in some of the low-lying areas of the island. And then along the seawall here, I'm going to flip the camera around so that you can see, as we've been driving along, we've been seeing some of the businesses along the seawall. Some of their signs have been blown off. When we get a little further down, you'll see like the Kroger down here off of Seawall. They lost their sign. And then we've also seen some of the apartment complexes and condos that are along the seawall here. There's one area in particular, I believe it's the ocean front lofts. There were roofs that were ripped off from that complex, and then there were balconies on those apartments that were actually collapsed. There were portions that you saw where people were standing on their balconies, but they had no railings as well. So folks along the seawall here definitely took a big hit, as this storm moved in. But again, we haven't heard of any reports of any casualties or any injuries as a result of some of those impacts from the storm. But we are just making our way around the island right now, just trying to see and get a feel of, what took place here over these last few hours. And in fact, within the last maybe like 15 minutes, we've actually felt the wind starting to pick back up again, as if this storm is kind of regenerating itself out here. We had this lull, which is why we decided to leave, because it felt fine, it felt safe out. But now the winds are starting to pick back up. We've been seeing a lot of people who have been coming out as well. As you can see here on the Sea Wall Boulevard, that traffic is pretty steady here as people are coming out to get a first-hand look at the aftermath, if you will, of Beryl and what we're witnessing here. But that's basically what we've been seeing right now. A lot of stoplights obviously are still out. There are still tons of people in this area without power, so everyone's sort of using caution as they drive along the streets here, especially here along the Sea Wall Boulevard. Everyone's kind of taking their time, stopping as needed, making sure that everyone stays safe. But again, this is kind of what we're seeing here on Galveston Island as a result of Beryl and the wind and rain that we saw. Thankfully, the rain has let up over the course of the last hour. We haven't really seen any rain, but we have been seeing, again, the impacts of the wind, and we've been seeing some of the damage from the wind on some of these buildings with windows busted out. And like I mentioned, that apartment down the road here with those balconies that collapsed and some of the roof pieces of the roof that are missing. We're going to continue to drive around the island and bring you the latest from here, but for now, that's what we're seeing. We'll send it back to you guys for conditions in other parts of the region.
All right, Devon, before we do that, I'm looking there and I can't tell if it's just the way the video's reading. Is there like literally a break in the clouds and the sunshine trying to peek through?
Yes, there actually is. Good observation there. That's something that we've been seeing for over the course of the last, 2 hours or so. There'll be peaks of, the sun is trying to peek out, and then those clouds will move right back in, and it'll be gray and just windy and cloudy as a result of those clouds covering up that sun. But yes, we have been seeing breaks, periods of breaks with the sun trying to come out, and I think that's what's leading people to come out from their, hotels and apartments and condos, because they see, oh, hey, the sun's trying to come out, that means we can come out. And, they're being misled as a result of these winds that are starting to pick back up.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how things look on the west end, because we heard earlier that at least one home had been destroyed on the west end of the island. Have you heard anything more about destroyed homes, Devon?
No, that's interesting that you bring that up, because we are actually going to head west here on the Sea Wall Boulevard to go down towards like Jamaica Beach, that area there, because we have been seeing some images on social media of some destruction that's supposedly down in that area. So we are going to make our way down there right now, slowly and cautiously, obviously, now that all the stoplights are out, and bring you guys the latest from what we find in that area.
Okay, Devon, yes, be safe out there.